Okay, welcome. We are waiting for the other people to join. Then we'll start the first part of the training. It's about ClassDojo. So let's just give the others some little time to join, then we'll start. Okay, once again, let me take this opportunity to greet all of you and welcome you to this day. We are going to start our training, and the first thing that we are going to look at is ClassDojo. ClassDojo is an application that we can use. It will mostly be used in the primary section for giving assignments and so on, but it also be a platform for communication around the school, from the parents to the teachers to the students. So it is a three-way thing. So probably just as an overview, if you can see my screen well, so we have the four options here. So whereby you can log in as a teacher, you can log in as a parent, you can log in as a student, and you can also log in as a school leader. So what you're going to look at today is the teacher's part. Now, on the teacher's part, we want to see various things. Amongst them is taking the attendance, because we'll be taking the attendance using this application. So we want to see how do we take the attendance on ClassDojo. And then secondly, we can also award points or maybe subtract points, like just bonus points to the students. That is now behavior points. So if the student is behaving well in the class, then we can award them some points. If they're behaving on the bad side, they're behaving poorly, we can also deduct them some points, so that it just keeps that good behavior character in the students. So that's the second point that we look at. So how do we award and subtract points from the students? Then the third thing, which is also a bit more important, is now, especially for the primary teachers and also maybe other teachers who might find that the application is good, how do we give tasks? So giving and receiving tasks. And then the last part of the training will be now, after you have received the tasks from the students, how do you mark them? Because it's an online thing. You're not going to be submitted with the papers and books to mark. So one thing that is very clear is students might send you work in different formats. They can send you work in PDF, in Word. Somebody can write the work on a book and take a picture and send you. They can upload a worksheet and so on. So after you've received these tasks from the students, how are we going to mark them and return to the students? So basically, that is what we are going to look at today. I've muted all of you, but if you have any question, you can just unmute yourself, or maybe there's a place where you can raise up your hand to ask your question. Then we proceed on. So probably before I move on, if there is any query, anything that you might want to say before we start.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Okay, Mr. William, the recording is, I'm recording the presentation, then I will share with you later on. So the recording it's being recorded. No worries about that. So I guess I'll just start. Now, I'm sure Mr. Ignatius shared with you the school emails. So what we are going to do after this training, I'll use the school emails and I will share with you I will now add you and send you the invitations on your school emails, whereby you can go on and accept the invitation. So after you accept the invitation, you will be part of the school ClassDojo. So it's like now we have our school account. So after I send you the emails and now you have accepted. So you have to accept, then you create your own account with your password, whereby now you'll be using that to log in into ClassDojo. So after this, I'll use the school email that was shared with you. Then I will send you the invitations. So when you get the invitation, you will just go on and follow the prompts that are there. Mostly it's just filling in your name and so on, and then creating a password. Then they'll require you to activate. So there'll be an activation link that will be sent again to your email. Then you can activate your account. So after you've done that, the first step to do is you can just go on the Chrome, type in classdojo.com or just ClassDojo. Then you will come to this place here on the login. So we have the login part here. You can just click on the login. So when you click on the login, they'll now ask you, how do you want to log in? Are you logging in as a teacher? Are you logging in as a parent, as a student, or a school leader? So you're going to pick the option of login as a teacher. So you will click here, login as a teacher. So when we click here, login as a teacher, it will give you the space whereby you have to input the email address and your password. So put in the email address, the one that now from the link that I'll send you. So the email that you're going to register with is the one that you're going to input here, not your personal email. And then you're also going to put here the password that you will have selected. Then just go on and click login. So after we log in, this is the homepage that you're going to see on the teacher's account. So by default, you'll be able to see the demo class, and then you'll also be able to see the other classes that the school has added you into. So probably you are teaching maybe like year 2. So you'll be able to see the year 2 class on your account. And if you are teaching any other subject in any other class, you might also be added into that class. So for instance, now here we are having 3 classes. So year 7, year 8, and year 9. So these are the classes that this teacher has been added to. But remember I said by default, we have this demo class. This one is just there, you can't, okay, you can use that as a practice. You'll be able to see the students and so on that. Now, there's also a possibility that you've been added maybe like to year 7 class, but then in that year 7 class, you're not teaching all the students. You're only teaching 3 students. Maybe you're teaching IRE, maybe you're teaching ICT or art in the year 7 class. So you can go on and create your own class for your students alone. So you have the year 7 class that you've been added to by the school, but you also want now a separate class for your students, for your 3 students, art students, ICT students, or maybe IRE, CRE, and so on. So you can go on and create your own class and then add the students there. So you just click on create new class, the class name, the grade, and so on. Then you can create the class. But mostly we'll just use the classes that the school is going to add us into. Now, seeing this as the home page, maybe the first thing that you will also, the one important thing that you need to look at is here, where the name of the school is. So when you click on that Scholars Castle International School, it will now open for you a school page. So on this school page, you'll be able to see all the communication that the school is doing to you or maybe to the parents. So for example, here we have the upcoming events. Like on 24th August, we have the opening day presentation. So this is just an example of an event. So if maybe we have a synopsis day, we have a parents meeting and the school has now is organizing for that, we'll create an event that is now on the school leader's part. Remember, there are 4 accounts. So the school leader has also his own account. So they'll create that event. So you'll be able to see the event because you are part of the school. You'll see the events that has been created by the school. Apart from that, they're just communication that could be, the school might want to pass across. Maybe on Friday next week, we are going to have a staff meeting. So instead of maybe going on to send your messages to your personal lines and so on, the messages can just be posted on the ClassDojo account. So when you log in, you'll be able to see that a particular teacher has posted a particular message to you or on the school account. So here is an example of an event that has been created. And here is a communication that the school is passing across to you. So it is important that you be checking your ClassDojo account also from time to time, so that in case there is any communication that has been passed on the ClassDojo account, and maybe it's not on the WhatsApp, then you'll be able to find it. So you simply, after you've logged in, you click on the school here. So that's when now it will open the school page. What else can you see on the school page? You can see all the parents. So it is a very transparent platform. There is no way we're going to tell you that you're having 3 parents and maybe you're having 10. So if you're having the 10 parents, after they accept the invitation, because we also send the invitation to the parents, so they'll also have their own accounts. And remember, they can also follow their children's participation, behavior-wise, performance-wise. They can see that because they have those rights. So you'll see the parents that are in your school, and you'll also be able to see the teachers that are in the school. Okay, so the names of the teachers will be appearing here. When you hover around the image, you'll be able to see the teachers in your school. So basically, that is what you can be able to view on the school page, whereby most of the communications will be done there. Now, one more thing that maybe I need to mention on the school page, you can also view the students, all the students in the school. So here, you can click on the view students in the directory. When you click here, view students in directory, you'll be able to view all the students in the school. So for instance, if I click there, I can see the list of students. So, and their classes will also be indicated. So we have the Susanna, we have Jemo, we have Sauti, and we have Ketepa. So these are in the 10th grade. And then in the 4th grade, we have Andre. So you'll be able to see all the students in your school. Now, when you click on the name of a particular student, from now the directory, because you have already clicked on the directory, you're able to view all the students. So when you click on the name of a particular student, then you'll be able to see the behavior of this student. Because our students, sometimes they also look at us and they treat us differently as teachers. So the way he or she behaves in my class could be different from the way he or she behaves in another class. But there are others who are like constant. They're behaving the same in all the classes. So you can be able to view the behavior and the performance of the students in your school. So maybe let's say this Ketepa is disturbing in your class and you want to see how is this Ketepa doing in the other classes. So that one will come to the view reports. Let me have another example whereby you'll be able to see that. If I click on Andre and I click on the view reports. So here I'll see the class that Andre is in year 4. And then now I want to see the report from, you can choose the week. So maybe I want to see last week, how was Andre behaving? So you can see here, last week, Andre got 2 positive points. And you can also see which teacher awarded the positive points and why was he awarded those positive points. So if I come down here, if I scroll down there, I'll be able to see the +2 was given to Andre for submitting homework on time. Now, which teacher gave the points? We saw that it is by Miss Radhia. Now, if Andre also has some negative points, you'll also be able to see that here. So it will not be all 100% positive. So we'll also have some red here, because when you give a negative point, then you'll see the red part. So here you can see now you can monitor the behavior of the students. So you'll see, does this student only behave this way in my class, or maybe also in the other classes he behaves the same way? So my advice to the teachers is this: kindly, we have to use the behavior part on this ClassDojo app so that we are able to monitor the students. How is this student behaving in Ms. Radhia's class? How is the same student behaving in Mr. Ignatius' class? So by giving the points, by reporting how they are faring on, then we'll be able to follow that. So kindly, that's the next thing that I'm going to show you, how to award the points and maybe how to check the attendance. So we'll just go back to our home account for the teachers. Now I will use this demo class because the other class don't have students at this point. So when you open your class, for example, you've clicked on the year 7 class or maybe year 8 class, you'll be able to see the list of all your students. So they'll appear, their names will appear there, all of them. So when you see that, the first thing maybe I'll show you is how to check the attendance. So on this page down here, we have the place to take the attendance. So the attendance is here. We can take the attendance of the students who have been attending our classes on a daily basis and see that. So you just have to click on the attendance there. Then after you click on attendance, they'll ask you, do you want to mark all of them present or maybe mark all of them absent? So you can choose to mark all of them present. So when you mark all of them present, you'll see that the students have a green icon against their names. But now let's assume that this Leonardo wasn't present, he was absent. So I have to click again on Leonardo and it will change. I think this is like pink or maybe red. So after you've marked all of them present and Leonardo wasn't present, he was absent, then I have to click again on his name and it will change to absent. The other point, if Justin was late to come to class and you have marked him present, how do you change it into late? So I'll click on Justin, it marks him absent. I click again. Now that is late. So it's like you have to click twice after you've marked him present. So when you click on the second time on Justin, it now marks him late. I think we are still together. Maybe I need to pause a bit to find out if there is any question. Maybe I'm going too fast. Is there any issue that needs clarification up to this point? Yes. Okay, I guess silence maybe might mean that we're okay, so we need to continue. So that's about attendance. Now, after you've taken that attendance, remember it is not saved yet. So you have to come down here again and click on Save Attendance. So now the attendance is saved. So take the attendance. After you've taken the attendance, make sure you save it. So that is point 1. Point 2, how do we now award points to the students? Remember, I've mentioned about giving points to the students. So how do we go on to award those points? So when you click on this student, let's say Beyonce, I click on Beyonce, this pop-up page will come and I'll be asked to give feedback to Beyonce. So the first part is giving the positive feedback. And then we also have the negative feedback, where by clicking on needs work, that's the negative feedback. So we have the positive. Now on the positive, maybe Beyonce was working hard in class and you want to appreciate her hard work. So I just have to come here and click on working hard. So when I click on working hard, Beyonce will have 1 point. Okay, but now currently she's having a 0 because she had a negative point previously. Let's look at somebody else maybe who was a 0, like Justin. Now I want to add Justin a point for participating in the class. So I give Justin 1 point. So if I give Justin 1 point, you see he has that 1 point here. We can now add a note because just participating, it's not convincing enough. So you might need to maybe add another explanation a bit. So I'll click on add note, just that point here. On add note. So when I click on add note, then I'll be able to explain a bit about that participating that I've given to Justin. So I can now go and say he was active all through lesson. Then I add the note. So that note will be shared on Justin's student's account, and the parent to Justin will also be able to see it. Okay, so Justin will be able to see that Mr. Patrick or maybe Mr. Ignatius, Miss Betty gave me 1 point for participating in the class, and there's an explanation there. So the students will be able to see that, and the parent will also be able to see that. So any point that you're explaining, especially on the negative points, kindly make sure that you add a note on it. Because you can just say, okay, making noise. But then explain a bit on this making noise. Where was it? Was it in class? Maybe it was, if we resume normal classes, maybe he was running around the corridors shouting. So kindly attach an explanation to whatever point that you have given this student. It is important so that parents don't go on calling you, okay, I've seen you've given my son, my daughter a negative point. What did he do? If you have explained well enough, then they won't have to call you because it's well explained there. So that's on the point about giving points to the students. Point number 3 brings us to the portfolios. Now, on the portfolios, here, when you click on the portfolios, this is the point to give the tasks to the students. So I click on portfolios and I'll be able to assign the tasks to the students. So how do I do that? I come here and click on create activity. Now I have to give the title of my activity. It's on maybe, let's say, a French worksheet or maths worksheet. Then you give the instructions. Now, let me just make this clear. For us to be able to give activities or maybe to give tasks and work to our students, you cannot, it's the space that you are allowed here is a bit limited. And so I found out a way of how we can assign that. It is by creating that work elsewhere and attaching the link here. So like maybe, I'm sure most of you know how to use the Google Forms and so on. Or maybe the Google quiz, the forms and quizzes. Or maybe you can also just research a worksheet online, then copy the link and paste it here. So just give the instructions. See, it's just about giving the instructions. But maybe it's like French, it's maybe like IRE. You just want them to recite something orally, or maybe you want them to write something. That one is possible because on the student side, they have more space to write. But on the teacher side, it's a bit limited. So for us, we have to find a way of attaching the worksheets here. So one way, find the respective worksheet that you want to assign, then copy the link and paste it here. So I just write the instructions, attempt all questions in the following worksheet. Now, I now have to find the link to that worksheet. So I can just go to my Chrome and research the worksheet. Maybe I need a, just say maths, maths worksheets. So find the respective worksheet. Maybe you're doing algebra, you're doing whatever you're doing. So find the worksheet. If you have found the worksheet, copy the link, then we go back to the ClassDojo and then we paste it there. Grade 3. Addition. So I'm sure this process is just clear, you can easily follow it. So after you've opened the respective worksheet, copy the link, copy that link for the worksheet, and then paste it here. So I now have the link to the worksheet. Now, whom do I want to assign that work? Maybe you're doing some extra class to the particular student. There's a particular student who didn't understand the points and you want to give him or her an extra work. Or maybe you're, so choose here. Are you assigning the task to the whole class? So if it's the whole class, tick the whole class. If it's only one student, click that one student. But now we're assigning the work to the whole class. Then click OK. Now, how do you want to receive that worksheet that you are sending? So maybe the student need to open it, do it in their books, then take a photo and send it back to you. So you can now choose photo. So they'll have to take a photo, then send it back to you. Or maybe it is English. You want them to write about themselves. So you want to receive it as a text. If it is French, you want them to talk about themselves. You want to receive it back as a video. Or probably you want to receive it as a worksheet again. So they have to open the worksheet, do it, and then attach it as a worksheet. So here you'll be able to choose how do you want to receive the response. So here, let's say that we want to receive it as a photo. So the students will open the worksheets, do it in their books, then take a photo and send it. So after you've picked the response type, click on assign. So we'll see now this page will appear to us. So when any student does the work, you'll be able to see here. So on the portfolios, we'll see a notification. There'll be a red notification here. So you'll be able to see that, okay, there's a new portfolio, there's a new task that student has done. You'll be able to open it. Now, when you open it, you have to approve. So the student can now might have sent the work, but then it is incomplete. So if it's incomplete, then there is no reason for you to accept that work. So you can just send it back as a draft for the student to redo it. So you can choose to approve or return as draft. That will be here after the students have now done the work. So you can either approve. So you'll see. So like here now we're having 5 notices submitted. If anybody submits, then you'll have 1 pending approval. So when you approve it, it will be on approved. You can also send it back as a draft, as I've mentioned. So that's on the worksheets. Now, let me make this, maybe let me make this announcement. Our Zoom is about to disconnect. So I'll request you that you join back immediately, disconnect so that we wind up. There's just a tiny bit that is remaining. Then we wind up. So when it disconnects, just join back using the same link that I shared. So after you've assigned the tasks, you need to create a login for the students so that how are they going to log in to do your task. Now this can be created weekly by the class. So if the class, the year 4 has created a link, not all teachers have to create that link. So you click on the student login here. We choose the classroom login. Okay, so this is the code. You will share this code with the students. So the students will now go on to click to key in this code on their side, and then they'll be able to access your class and do the worksheet that you have assigned. Or anytime that they want also to log in into their accounts, they'll use this code to log in. So after a week, the class teacher or maybe the school head can change the code for the one that's now going to be used for the following week. That is about the portfolios, which is now the worksheets and the work that you're giving the kids. Now, for the class teachers, we have the class story here. So you can also communicate to your students through the class story. You want to announce to them that next week, Friday, you're going to have a cut. So you can just post it here. Or there's going to be an event. Maybe your class is organizing a spelling event. Click on event, create the event, share it with your class. So the students will be able to see that. So it is easy to monitor and follow up the progress and just communication. It's a small world, a small family that you're creating on ClassDojo. So no student will be able to tell you, okay, miss, sir, I didn't hear you saying that we are going to have a cut. So just post it here and everybody will be able to see it. And you as the teacher, you'll also be able to see who has viewed it. So if you posted something and the students have viewed, you'll be able to see that, okay, Patrick and Ignatius and William have already viewed this. So nobody will come to tell you, okay, I didn't view it, not unless they didn't log into their accounts. So Here is where you can make the communications to your class. It can also be a photo. Maybe you went for a trip. Now you want to share the photos. You can post the photo here. Just click on photo. You can drag and drop, or maybe you can search it in your machine, your computer, and upload. It can be a file. It can be a recording. So maybe you can just make a voice note as the class teacher to welcome them to the new week. So that's on the class story. And then messages. On the messages here, you can be able to communicate with us easily. So you just pick the particular parent, type the message, and send them. So you can easily communicate with your parents. And the parents can also send you messages. So this ClassDojo is another app that we can use just to communicate and have that tiny bond between the student, the teacher, and the parent. So it is so easy to be in touch using ClassDojo. So I guess I've mentioned most of the things that we are supposed to know. The remaining part is to know now if the students have submitted work back to you. They have sent it to you, because I said the students can send you work as a picture, like on WhatsApp. They can send it as a Word document, as a PDF document, and so on. So if they send it to you in those three formats, how are you going to mark and give them feedback? We also need to know how to do that. So that is the next point that we want to look at. But on ClassDojo, I think I've mentioned most of the things that are important, not unless if there is any question up to this point about ClassDojo. Before we proceed on to the other part, how to mark the work that has been submitted by the students, because it will be in different formats since it's online. Is there any question so far? Okay, Mr. Duke, you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, colleagues.
Morning to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to inquire compatibility of the app. Is it only possible in laptops, or
No, you can
as
also
well
download,
work from?
You can also download it on your phones.
So it works on phones and laptops and tablets and all these other devices.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I guess, is there any other question maybe that you might want to know about ClassDojo before we proceed on to now receiving? Because I've shown you how to receive the work. So we want to see now, how do we go on to mark the work that we have been sent by our students? So to do that, we are going to use yet another application that we'll have to download and install in our computers. And this app, or maybe this application, is called PDF Exchange Editor. PDF Exchange Editor. So PDF Exchange Editor, it is an app that we are going to use just write it here, PDF Exchange editor, PDF Exchange editor. So that's the app that we are going to use to mark the work that you have received from our students. So we want to see now, how does this work? But before you're able to use the PDF Exchange editor, you need to have downloaded and installed it in your computers. So let me just launch it and show you how the PDF Exchange editor works. So for my case, I already have it here. So I can just open it. But now, if I've received the work from the students, I can easily access it on I can download it from the ClassDojo into my computer. Then after I've done that, I can easily open that document with PDF Exchange editor. So let me open my documents here. So when I open my documents, the students have sent me the document as a photo. So you have to open it with the PDF Exchange editor. So right click on the image if it's a photo, right click on the image, then it will give you the options, open with. So I click here, I choose the open in PDF Exchange editor. So now we have that. So this is the photo that the students send you. We're assuming now this is the maths worksheet that they did on their books, and then took a photo, sent you on WhatsApp, or maybe they attached on the ClassDojo. Remember, we'll also have to be a bit more flexible. Maybe the student can share the work on WhatsApp. So we'll still have to receive it and mark and give feedback. Now, if this is the image that we have been sent by the students, now we want to mark it. How do we mark it? On this PDF Exchange editor, on the taskbar here, we will choose the comment section. We'll click on the comment on the taskbar of the PDF Exchange editor. Then when you click on the comment part, we'll see the different options that come up there. Pick on the pencil, click on the pencil tool. So when I move my cursor now, it moves as a pencil. So the student has done the work, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So if number 1 is correct, I just have to left click on my laptop, or maybe using the mouse, but it is easier to mark using your fingers. So left click and just put the sign of a tick. So it becomes easier that way. So if number 5 was wrong, just put a wrong there. Maybe you need to circle this, and just easily circle. So I'm doing that by left clicking and now using my right finger to put the ticks or to put the wrongs. Now, if you want to add a comment, okay, maybe it's a sentence and you want to add a comment on it, I'll click on, I can choose the sticky note here. So I click on the sticky note, then I'll go exactly to the number or to the question that I want to make the comment on. If it's number 1C, so I click on the number 1C, then I click the comment. Now, when I click on the comment, you're able to see that the comment is opening, it opens another communication bar, or maybe communication bubble on the side, where now you can type whatever you want to type. Okay. So I can go on and type. insert a comma after the word boy. So that's just an example of a comment that I wanted to make. Or maybe that is the wrong conjugation. This is the one, you need to do it like this. So after you've made that comment, remember your cursor is still moving as a comment. So you have to return it back to click on the hand tool there. Then if I click on the side, I can easily close this one down. So when the student now receives the work back from you, when they click on that speech bubble, they'll be able to see the comment that you have made to them. So insert a comma after the word boy. So it is easy that way. So this is an example of an image that was sent to you. Now, let's assume that you are not sent an image. You are sent maybe a PDF document. Let me search a PDF document here. So just open the PDF document that you are having. So after this has opened, then you can also go on and do the same way, like I've shown previously there. So it is easy to go on marking the work using this PDF Exchange editor tool. So I think that's what I wanted to mention on this. Unless if there is any question about what we have discussed so far about ClassDojo and also about this PDF Exchange editor.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Good morning, Mr. William.
Yes, I have a question on marking. I don't know, okay, some of us have this X pen, the graphics pen. Can it come in handy in marking? Maybe you can also talk about that, how we fit in if I don't want any of this. Can I adopt it to also help me in marking?
Sure. Okay, the PDF Exchange editor is mostly now for those ones maybe who don't have the graphic tablets and so on. So it's an option to that. But if you have the graphic tablet, it is easy because you can easily open the work on the ClassDojo, or maybe the work that you have been shared to by the students, and you can easily mark using the graphic pens and the graphic tablets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any other question about ClassDojo, about PDF Exchange editor? So I guess maybe we are okay, and that is all that I had to mention about the two applications. Okay, Mr. Duke.
Yes, you have addressed responses submitted as photos and as PDF documents.
Even Word documents.
Okay, okay, that is what I want to ask. Can the same work with Word documents?
Yes. Now, what happens with the Word documents? Let me just try showing that. So like I have a Word document here. So when I go to my files, I have to right click and then I have to open it. I open with the PDF Exchange editor. So it will convert it into a PDF Exchange, like a PDF document. Then I can easily now go on to mark it. So that is how it operates. So like even the photo, it converted it like into a format of a PDF. So even the Word documents, just click on the Word document, then right click on it, choose the option whereby you're opening it in PDF Exchange Editor. So it will convert that Word document into a PDF, and then now you can easily maneuver around on the PDF Exchange Editor to do the different things. You can make the comment, you can put the ticks, you can put the wrongs, and so on.
Okay, after you have done the ticks and everything, you have put the percentage score,
Yeah.
or how the student has fared.
Yes.
What follows next? Do you have to save? I'm an auto save, and then after that next step, how then do you maneuver from that point back to the student?
Okay, you have to save it. Okay, now after you have saved it, okay, you can easily now send back the work to the students. Maybe you can choose to send them back on WhatsApp. You can share on their school emails, because I'm sure we are going to create also school emails for the students. You can easily share them on their school emails. And also, I'm sure you can attach it here on the ClassDojo. So I really think it's possible to click on a particular student, maybe attach that as on the messages, maybe you attach it there. But probably WhatsApp and school email can work for now.
Okay.
Yes. Is there any other question, maybe? So I guess it's almost an hour. So if there is no any other question, then I'm going to end the meeting. Then I'll share with you this recording. You can follow it later on. And please also check your school emails, because we are going to create and send invites for the ClassDojo to your email. So you can activate your account, and then later on you'll also be added to the different classes. So you also have to accept the invitation to the different classes that you'll be added to. Specifically, those will be the classes that you'll be handling. So if you see you've been added to maybe 3 classes, just know that somehow you'll be appearing in between the 3 classes. So I think that is probably all that I had to say. And just to clarify this, the ClassDojo application mostly will be used with the junior school teachers to give the tasks. For senior school teachers, we're also going to look at another application, the Google Classroom. We'll also see how it works. But the ClassDojo mostly will be for the tasks for the junior kids. But now for the attendance and giving awarding points, we all have to like use the ClassDojo, so that we can just also monitor how are our students faring and so on. Okay, so I think it's fair enough to end the meeting now. And let's meet back at 2 p.m. I'll share with you the recording soon enough. You'll be able to get it, and you can watch it and maybe try it on your own using the demo class to see how do you maneuver around the different things that we have talked about. thank you so much for being a nice class, a nice audience. So see you later in the afternoon. Be safe. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
Okay, so let's meet at 2.